Greetings, this is Payman Lorenzo, your host, your friend, your coach. Today we're kicking off day 3 of the live 5-day profitable podcast long challenge, class of May 2025. This is a class for the UK, Europe, and Asia. And it's going to be a fun one. Plus, we have a special guest, expert guest, my good friend and copywriter, marketing expert, not just marketing guy, marketing expert, Mr. Michiel Arkema, aka Sunshine Boy, Sunshine, from
Dude, that is
directly
so
from
terrible.
tropical Netherlands.
Tropical Netherlands. I wish that was true.
Well, imagine it is. Imagine it is.
Imagine.
Imagine, yes, indeed. And all right, let's get going. So let me start sharing my screen. Do you guys see my screen? All right,
Yes.
cool. So today's menu is going to be about, as I said since the start, everything builds from the previous day. On day one, I shared with you not only my story, but also how podcasting is absolutely a game changer for business, not just for business, but also for you as a person when done the right way. And then yesterday, day two, we looked at the most important base, the foundation of everything we're going to be doing, and that is identifying your zone of genius. And because we're going to be building your messaging, crafting your offer and your business, and ultimately your podcast, your profitable podcast, your YouTube channel around your zone of genius. And today we're going to take the findings, can't even speak, the findings from yesterday, the zone of genius, and then we're going to turn that into creating your your irresistible Godfather offer. Are you guys excited about that? All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to be creating your offer today. It's going to be based on what is the number one pain point you're solving through your offer, podcast, and business. And I'm going to be in for you, and I'm going to be introducing to a principle that is absolutely non-negotiable. It's indispensable for your offer to have it, for it to be not just successful, but for you to even have a business. And that is called a quantifiable, measurable end result. And I'm going to expand on that later on. So that's the agenda for today. We're going to go over that. But before we start, any questions, comments, compliments, especially about my shiny hair, about yesterday? Well, not shiny comments about my shiny hair from yesterday, but questions and comments about yesterday, day 2, or even day 1. So the only person that this question is for is Andrea, because you were there yesterday. The other were not here yesterday. So
I have a question, but I think it will be covered on maybe day 4 or 5,
okay.
like how to really earn from the podcast.
Well,
You
by
already mentioned some of
implementing
it.
everything I'm talking,
Yeah.
but then on Friday, I'm gonna show you how to get that first
Yeah.
hula, to get flooded with all the pesos you can handle. But I'm sure you don't want just pesos, you want dollars, you want pounds, euros,
Mhm.
not just pesos. Maybe the peso nice too. All right. So,
All right.
okay. All right, let's get going then.
Sorry, I have a question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
When you talk of number one pain point,
Yeah.
how do you get to that? Because some things can be symptoms other than because I might be burnout, but that's not the problem. There's something that is causing it. How do I get to the origin of the problem?
By asking better questions, deeper questions, probing.
Lorenzo, mind if I answer this one?
Please go ahead.
Okay, Princess, in a few slides from now, I'm going to be showcasing the $1 million offer creation framework and doing the questions in that framework.
Right.
That question that you just asked is going to get counted in there. It's fine. It's going to be in there.
Yes.
And I'm going to showcase how to get to the nitty-gritty details under the fingernails
Okay.
of your clients.
Awesome.
Any nooks and crannies of that. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that. But yes, that's going to be, wow. I'm not going to say just that. It's going to be wow stuff. So, yes. All right. So yeah, let's first start with the big question everybody asks. So what niche should you choose, or what niche should I start? And honestly, if you have to ask that question, that's the wrong question to ask, because it's not about going about after a lucrative, profitable niche, trend, or sexy topic, whatnot. Sure, you can make money that way, but it's not sustainable. The way that's going to be sustainable, profitable, and impactful is going to be for you to focus on you. Focus on, as I said yesterday, your zone of genius, your gifts, everything we're doing is built up around your zone of genius. So yesterday's and today, yesterday, day two, identifying your zone of genius, and today, taking the zone of genius and crafting your offer is going to be the two most powerful, important days of the challenge, because that's where you're going to build the actual foundation of everything we're going to be doing. So again, it's not about selecting a niche, a topic. It's about looking inwards, taking inventory of your skill sets, your core expertise, talents, experiences, wisdom, gifts, and ultimately it's about your zone of genius. So make sure you do the exercises, the brainstorming about day two, identifying your zone of genius carefully, thoroughly, because that's what's gonna literally give you the answers for today. As I said since the beginning, everything builds from the previous day. It's like building a house. Before building the third floor, you have to build the foundation, the basement, the first floor, and so on and so forth. Same thing here. So it's all based on a zone of genius, all about helping a very specific person with a very specific pain point. The more specific, the more magnetic it will be, the more magnetic, the more compelling, the more profitable, the more transformational your business is going to be. So, all clear so far? Okay. As I mentioned yesterday, you guys remember the number one reason why most online businesses, even not just online business, most businesses, most entrepreneurs, online coaches struggle to get anywhere is because they lack clarity. They want to help everyone with all the issues. And we all saw that the name of the game is clarity, because it's all about one thing. Now, let's do a fun exercise, a fun scenario. Imagine we all having dinner or lunch, or you meeting with friends, all babbling and talking, and then someone leans over and says, "Hey, Angie, Princess, Andrea, Christine, Hamish, Payment, what do you do?" That's a typical question people ask right away. Now, if you start your answer with any of these, well, it's kind of complicated, or let me tell you a story, or this is how it happened, or and all that, then you're off to the wrong start. You don't have a business, because you're going to confuse the person. You want to have your messaging so crystal clear. Actually, let's play that game right now. Imagine we're sitting at a table and I lean over to you, Princess. So, Princess, in one sentence, so what do you do? Give it to me in the most specific way, so that the only question left in my mind is, oh, wow, that's amazing. What's the next step? How do I start? Remember what I shared with you guys yesterday? You want to
Yeah.
call out the person you're helping, doing what, by doing what, and how long is it going to take them to get that dream outcome. These are the
Do you
four
have,
elements. So imagine we're sitting at a table and I say, hey, I lean over and say, Princess, what do you do?
I would say something like this.
Please don't start. Well, it's kind of complicated. Let me tell you a story.
No story here. I help women of faith escape the corporate cage into living God's purpose without compromising their greatness.
Cool. And how long does that take for a typical woman to reach there?
Give it 3 days.
3 days.
I am thinking of doing a 3-day intensive. That is why.
Okay.
Because I've been told if you're not doing a fitness program, don't go 12 weeks. People want speed.
Within reason, but keep in mind that people are busy. So you gotta find the right balance. And
That's why I'm glad I'm doing this.
Yeah. So, okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. Now, let me turn to you, Andrea. So, Andrea, what do you do other than eating a lot of only rice at Jollibee? Sorry, not at Jollibee, at Manginasal.
I coach women who are in spiritual spiritual something businesses, build emotional resilience so that blah blah blah. I don't know. I, I
I
have to
like,
clarify it, and
yeah,
I don't
it's
have a
very,
timeline.
it's very vague. Yes, it's very vague. It's
Yeah,
like very confusing. What?
that's why I'm here.
I know, I know. Okay, and we're gonna help you with this. Now, next,
6 weeks.
I lean over to you, Angie, to my left. Say, Angie, what about you? What do you do?
I'm a freelance virtual assistant and have passion to help other people. And I've been a volunteer for how many years?
Wow.
So, I have lots of skills, but I want to earn also.
Yes, of course, like that. Now, let me lean over to you, Sunshine. Hey, Michael, what do you do?
Well, I help coaches, consultants, and agency owners get flooded with hungry customers by implementing scientific marketing principles in their business.
Wow.
Very crystal clear. Sorry.
Tell me more.
My mic.
Oh,
How
what
do
you
I
want to
sign
know?
up? Send
How
me
do you sign
some.
up? Go to my
Yeah.
website.com and sign up for my free email newsletter.
BettySunshine.com. Huh?
Now, scientificmarketinglab.com.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh.
Now, who's gonna lean over to me and ask me that question?
I can do that.
All right, go.
Hey, Lorenzo, what do you do?
Well, glad you asked. Well, I help authors, coaches, and speakers get the first or next paying client to their own profitable podcast or YouTube channel in as little as 60 days, even if they have no audience to start with. See how clear that is? It answers all the questions.
It
For who?
is.
What?
It's time bound.
Yes. All right, good, good, good. You got it. Where is Hamish? Did you leave?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
sorry. I didn't see on my apologies. I didn't see on the screen. I thought you. So, leading over to you, Hamish. So, what do you do?
Well, Lorenzo, it's kind of complicated. Let me tell you a story. This is
All right, summarize it, please. We have 30 seconds.
okay. I help men leave behind their addictions and overcome all the stuff that is dragging them back, and help them to rebuild their lives aligned with what they really, truly value, be it their business, their family, getting out of all that stuff that is their fears. It's not an immediate process, but it's a 3 month process, and we can get well on the way to making huge changes.
I like that. I like that. Where can we hone in on your messaging and make it even more laser focused?
The time bit, the um, a little bit on how, I think, um, and yeah, just setting it all up a little bit. But it's men and their addiction, the fact that it's destroying their personal business life, potentially their reputation,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Well, not that kind of thing, that thing. They're in the doo-doo basically if they don't pull the finger out.
Yes, absolutely. Love that. And tonight, well, today, we're gonna do that, especially with the second half of the call with Michael. He's gonna really help you, all of us, with that. Thank you for sharing. So again, keep it simple, very simple. Again, it's not about going after a sexy, hot topic or niche. It's just looking inwards. What are your gifts? What are your core skill sets? Basically, what is your zone of genius, and build your business around that. So here's the hard, cold truth. If you can't answer this question, so what do you do in a way that is clear and the person fully understands exactly what you do without having to ask you for follow-ups or clarifications? Then I'm sorry to say it, but you don't have a business. You don't have a clear business. In fact, you may not even have a business if you don't have that clarity. Does that make sense? All right, so we're gonna go deep into that. So as I mentioned yesterday, and I'm gonna keep mentioning for the rest of the week, clarity is the name of the game. Again, I want you guys to screenshot this, memorize it, because again, clarity is the name of the game. Now, the other side of the spectrum, there's also this, the cost of lack of clarity. Yes, clarity is the name of the game, but on the flip side, there's a massive and very expensive cost if you lack clarity. What do I mean by that? Can you guys take a guess at that? What do I mean by a cost of lack of clarity?
I think nobody will buy because they don't understand what you're selling anyway. It doesn't understand the result that they're gonna get. So if you're confused, that means all you're gonna do is confuse me. So bye-bye.
That's
And
it.
they won't see you as an expert in your field.
That's it. Remember what I said. Remember the dining table test. You have to be able to answer the question in such a crystal clear way that the person doesn't need to ask you any further clarification questions. And the only question in their mind is, oh, wow, that's amazing. What's the next step? How do I start? All right, now let's take a look at further deeper into this. The cost of lack of clarity. And what you said is exactly spot on, Princess. I want each of us to look in a heartfelt, candid, and even painful way at these three questions. How much is not having clarity in your offer costing you and your business each month? These are real costs and the tens of thousands of dollars and pounds and euros. And then how much per transaction is that costing you? How much money you're leaving on the table because you don't have a laser focused clarity? And how much more can you charge if you did have that laser focused clarity in your offer? I want you guys to really take these 4 questions, 1, 2, 3, 4 questions, 4 questions, and really do some soul searching, some deep thinking on those. Because yes, clarity is the name of the game, absolutely. But on the flip side, there's a massive and real cost to not having clarity. Does that make sense? Type in the chat 1 if it's clear, and 2 if it's 1 if it's clear, and 2 and 2 if it's painful for your business. Let me check the chat. Oh yes, elevator pitch. Yeah, as complicated as we might go to answer. Yeah. Yeah. You had no business, you have no idea. Yes, absolutely. Why not teach other people how to become virtual assistants and how to get the first clients with? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Someone that wants, for example, for you, Angie, you can teach them how to get that first gig, that first paying gig, let's say in 30 days. That's a very powerful, profitable, and impactful business. Absolutely. Love that. Okay, yes, Angie. 1 and 2, Andrea. I would say 1 and 2 for me as well. Let's do a quick survey here and answer these questions truthfully. We're not here to judge, but to help each other, to learn and inspire each other. How much is not having clarity in your offer costing you currently in your business each month? A rough figure. Who wants to go first? Let me check the chat. 2. Yeah, absolutely, Andrea. So Hamish, $4,000 a month. Okay. Yeah, that's a painful one, right? And how much per transaction is that costing you? How much money are you leaving on the table per transaction? I want you guys to really think through those questions today, even for the rest of the week, because you need to understand where is the problem so you can fix it. And what is the root cause of the problem? And I'm going to expand on that in a moment. So guys, again, this is very important. So Hamish, you said it's costing you at least $4,000 a month by not having clarity. Now, how much do you think, how much more can you charge in your offer? Not just per month, but per client. Once you will get that laser focused clarity in your offer. How much are you charging currently? Let me check the chat.
What are your guys' ideal monthly income from your business? How much would you like to make a month?
So wait, 12-week program, like the price at $9,000. Okay. How much is it priced at currently? Zero. Okay. Okay. So the transformation that you're offering, put yourself in the position of the man that you're helping. If you were your own customer, your own client, how much would you pay to get that dream outcome yourself? That's one way to look at it and to price it, at least initially. And once you get more and more testimonials and success stories, then you can raise your rates. But imagine, that's a great question you asked, Michael. We're going to get that in a moment. Wonderful question. Hold that thought for a moment. Hamish, let's brainstorm together. Remember what I always say? Your avatar is no one else than yourself. Put yourself a few steps when you were just a few steps struggling at the start of your journey. How much would you have paid at that time to get the results that you're offering right now? So Princess says, I would like to launch an 8,000 program. Okay. We're going to talk about that. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Are you guys able to speak or just type? Okay, $35 or 2K in pesos. My client.
Client's life, business, and reputation is at risk, so it's priceless.
Yes.
Yes.
So for that, yes, okay.
Start with 10 grand.
Yes. Because again, you want to make your offer transformational. Don't make your business transactional. Never sell your time, never sell your knowledge, because there's always a ceiling how much you can charge, and information can be obtained for free nowadays. Make it transformational. The bigger the transformation, the more you can charge, and the more people will be gladly willing to pay for you.
The best pitchers are always those who surround themselves around what the consequences of not solving the problem.
Yes. Gonna expand on that in a moment. Yes. And Angie, you mentioned that you're charging only $35, 2,000 pesos. That is not a business. That is a side hustle. And maybe it's different in the Philippines, but by going to this program here this week, if you follow the videos and do the work, there's no reason that you cannot build an offer. You can charge at least $1,000, at the bare minimum, 500. For example, imagine you're just fresh out of school, you graduated, you're looking for your first job as a freelancer. How much is it worth to you? Put yourself in that person's position. To get a job where you're gonna get paid at least, I don't know how much they make entry level, maybe what, $600, $1,000? Put yourself in that person's position. How much is that worth for you to get that first gig with a client that's going to pay you reliably, consistently, and dependently? That easy. 1,000, maybe 500 for someone that's just starting out. And maybe for the first few clients, you can give them a case study pricing of only $500, but stop, for the love of God, charging so little. Because when you charge little money, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're attracting the wrong clients, the wrong customers. The more someone pays you, the better of a client they will be. Those that pay the least amount of money will be the worst, the most difficult, the most pain in the butt clients. All right,
I
cool.
agree.
Yes, absolutely. Paying clients, pay attention. Absolutely.
Can
Go ahead, Andrea, go ahead.
Yeah. So I had difficulty with figuring out how much I'm losing, because basically I'm still transitioning from turning my passion into a business, right? So I realized something. So based on all the investments I've made on myself, like taking all the coaching courses, all the healing trainings and courses and retreats, like I almost spent like more than half a million pesos. So I haven't really gotten a return on investment. I'm just receiving peanuts for that, because like Angie, I've been just, oh, this is a service. You can just give me whatever you can afford. So but this time I'm done. Because like some people who I was coaching before, they're now earning more than me. I'm like, what? So yeah, so I'm done playing small, so I'm
Absolutely.
ready
I
to
love
go
that.
big.
Yes. Enough playing small. Now it's time to step it up and play in the big leagues with the big boys and big girls. We're gonna be charging at least $1,000, if not more.
I also experienced that, the people who got services for free or for a smaller amount, when they are the more demanding clients. but those who really
Absolutely.
but those who pay the premium, those who pay premium services, they respect your time. They don't go beyond the 1 hour that you gave them and all that, and they pay for another session if they have additional questions.
Yes, and
So
I will
yeah.
add, yes, Michael, I see you raised your hand, but I will say one thing before I lose my train of thoughts. The best hack to get the highest paying client is to start investing in yourself. If you yourself are reluctant in investing in yourself, paying $2, $3, $5, $10,000, why should someone else pay you that kind of money to you? That's one of the best kept secret that I keep hearing from all the top, very successful coaches out there and entrepreneurs. And they all say the moment they start investing in themselves, because money is energy, when they see that you're investing in yourself, you're going to put yourself in a position, not just frequency wise, but also in a room where you can attract people that understand the need to invest in themselves, not only understand, but also have the means to do so. Does that make sense? So ask yourself, what is the most amount of money that you yourself have invested in any program for yourself? So if the most you've paid is, say, $200, then no one expects someone else to pay more than $200 for your services. It's a universal law. I'm not the one making that up. Every successful person out there has said the same thing over and over and over again. If you've invested $5,000 in a program yourself, then subconsciously in your mind, that's how much that your mind and your subconscious mind will charge and how much you can expect. If you charge 10,000, if you pay 10,000 yourself, then you can, because your mind is gonna level up and you're gonna attract that kind of customers as well. This is one of the best kept, I wouldn't say secrets, but rules of the people that are really crushing it. Does that make sense, guys? Because again, ask yourself candidly, truthfully, what is the most yourself that you've invested in a program for your own growth? If the most you've paid was 3,000 pounds, $200 or whatever, then you cannot expect someone else to pay you more than that. Because the law of reciprocity. Money is energy. Does that make sense? So again, that's one of the things that I've had the hardest time, not just understanding, but really wrapping my head around it. And I know it's difficult, especially when you're starting, when you don't have the money to invest that kind of money. Say, wow, I'm not even making 1,000. How can I afford to pay 5,000 someone else? But that's when you need to find to think outside the box, because you have to really want it. There's a very powerful American motivational speaker, Eric Thomas. He says, you need to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, then you will find ways to find the money, whether it's to sell your car, borrow money, or whatever. Again, I'm not saying you should do that, but this is just the way to. You have to invest in yourself first. So you level up. You have to become the person that others will want to invest in. Because when someone invests in your program, 90% they're not investing in your program, they're investing in you as a person. Even Shark Tanks, the billionaires, all that, when they invest, they always say, we only 5% is what we invest in is in the business, 95% is in the person. Does that make sense, guys? All right, enough about saying this. Michael, go ahead, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Andrea, you talked about your passion, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why you have been struggling is because you're trying to sell your passion. Who taught you to sell your passion? Where did you get that idea from? If you don't mind me asking.
Or they told me like if you what you do, if you, I don't know how to frame it. Like if you turn it into a business, what you love doing, then it's like you're not working because you're just enjoying providing value and all that.
Okay. Well, if they use the word passion, then they either don't know what they're talking about or they're lying to you because they want to sell you something. You cannot sell your passion. Okay, because that is egotistical based. That is what you like. Okay, that's your passion. Instead, what you should do is you find a problem, a very painful problem that you can solve, and then you use your passion to solve that problem. For example, Steve Jobs was very passionate about simplifying things. Steve Jobs was really good at simplifying. However, he could not create something, oh, I'm going to sell my simplification skills. Like, that doesn't make sense. Instead, he built a tech company, Apple, and he used his passion for simplifying things to simplify technology. Make sense?
And all that. Yes, absolutely. Great example. Yes.
So don't sell your passion. Instead, find a painful problem a group of people are facing and use your passion to solve that problem for them.
Bingo. A very specific pain point for one specific person. Awesome. Awesome. Does that answer your question, Andrea? Awesome.
Yes.
Let's move on. Here's a very, 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 very powerful principle. I want you guys to memorize this, print it, and really learn it, because this is the core of business. Your client, customer has to care about the problem before they can care about the solution you and your offer. Let me repeat that. Your client has to care about the problem before they can care about the solution you and your offer. What does that mean? That means that, let me go deeper. Our number one job as a coach, mentor, activator, whatever you want to call it, as I mentioned yesterday, our number one task is to educate our audience as to what is the problem they're facing, because we don't know what you don't know. I have problems I don't even know I have. We all have problems we don't even know that we have them. So you as the expert, your number one job is to educate them in understanding what is a problem they're facing, why it's there, what would happen if they don't take any drastic action to fix it. Just like Michael mentioned earlier, you have to make them feel the pain in a vivid way. And because you're the one that's gonna get them to fully understand what is the pain point they are facing, why it's here, and what's going to happen if they don't take any action. In their mind, you will become their go-to person, the expert, because you were the one, unlike all the other so-called expert that all they cared about was just to sell, 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 pitch, pitch, pitch. You were different. You spend the time to first educate them, while also at the same time building that trust, that rapport. And when you were the one to make them fully understand, oh, wow, this is actually very serious, I have to do something about it, then by default, they will turn to you as their solution. And they will ask you, so Andrea, Michael, Princess, Hamish, how do I fix this? That's when you tell them. You don't go gung-ho, dumping your offer on them from the get-go. And that's a mistake most people do. They start pitching, 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 and they get shut down right away. Instead, our number one job is here to educate. Does that make sense, guys? Because this is very, very important. As you know, this is a crux of everything. Again, here, your client has to care, meaning they need to fully understand what is a problem before they care about the solution. Once they understand the full extent and gravity of the problem, then of course, their mind, they will want to know, okay, how do I fix this? And because you were the one to make them fully aware of the problem, you're the go-to person by default because you've earned their trust. They sure may actually care. I'm not here just to try to sell you and pitch you. I actually am here to really make you understand what is a problem and really educate you. And then they will care about, they will be open and receptive to hearing what you have to offer. And then it's going to proceed much smoother into actual sale and helping the person. Do you guys see how that works? Does it make sense? Type yes, type 1 if yes, and type 2 if it's oh, hell yes. And type 3 if it's oh. It's confusing. I'm confused, and like as you guys see in the Philippines, nosebleed. I hope nobody's gonna have a nosebleed here. Or as in Canada, it's clear as mud. All right, Andrea, go ahead.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to communicate like this or frame my offer like this. What my problem has been for the longest time, that what's happening is, like you said, I just dump, I can offer you body processes and like blah blah
Yes,
blah, and
yes.
then it's like they're the ones I'm trying to convince, but I know the value of what I offer, but they don't, I'm not communicating it well, and I'm not touching on their pain points. So yeah, so I really need this. Thank you.
So very welcome. So you, again, your number one role, job, task, duty, responsibility, whatever you want to call it, is to educate them, make him understand what is a problem, why the problem is here in the first place, and what's going to happen if they don't take any drastic action to fix it. And once they understand that, they do that, then basically they're the one trying to chase you. Hey, Andrea, how can you help me? What do you have for me? You're absolutely right. Do not start your conversation with, oh, I can offer you this. Because again, they don't see the need for it. You have to see the need for it. And to see the need, you have to understand why you need it. Does that make sense, guys? Hamish, Princess, Angie? So that's our number one task. Once we've done that, then the next task, equally important, is to make them believe, understand, realize, and see that they can do it. They can achieve the result we are claiming that they will achieve, because that's what our brain always does. When someone is looking at investing in a program, the three most dominant questions we all have in our mind are these. First one, can I trust this person? Number two, is this person competent to help me achieve that result? And number three, that's a big one. That's a deal breaker or deal maker. Can I do it? Sure, you did it, he did it, she did it, they did it, but what about me? Can I do it? Can I get that result? That's the second most important task we have. Does that make sense, guys? So again, memorize this. This is very, very important. The customer has to care about the problem before they can care about the solution you and your offer. And then here, your number one task as a coach, as a mentor, as an activator, as a guru, as an expert, whatever you want to call it, is number one, to educate them. What is the problem? Why the problem is here in the first place? What's going to happen if they don't take any drastic action? And so on and so forth. Make them feel the heat, the pain. And once they've understood that, then they will automatically come to you and say, oh, wow, Hamish, I had no idea it was that bad. How can I fix this? Well, glad you asked. That's what I'm here for. See how that works? Very logical way. Princess, does it make sense?
Sorry. Yes, it does. I was responding, but you were not hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
The most important role in your business is not creating a product, it's the marketing of your product. Yes, and marketing entails educating, make them understand what is a problem. What's in it for me? How can I benefit from what you have to offer? And that is, for you to achieve that, you have to convey in a very clear, specific, laser-focused way. What is the pain point you're solving? And for who? We're coming full circle. All right, next. Again, as I mentioned earlier, very important, educate your audience. And your podcast, as I said on day one, your podcast is not only going to be a phenomenal lead generation machine, but most importantly, most powerfully, a lead education machine. Because our number one job is to educate our audience. And through educating them, then that's going to allow us to build that trust, that rapport, displaying our expertise. And that's going to make them say, wow, I didn't even knew I had this problem. How do I fix this? And because you were the one that actually took the time to educate them, you will become the go-to person by default. So again, memorize that, guys. Even print this, because this is very powerful. I'm not going to go over it again because I've done it for the last 5 minutes. Let me see what's in chat here. Yes. It's a lead generation, absolutely. But in order for you to generate the lead, you have to first educate them. Because if you go from the get-go and just dump them with your pitch, you're going to lose them forever, even before you even finish your sentence. All right, next. Once we've educated them as to what is the pain point, what is the problem, the next logical step is for us to make them believe, realize, and see and understand that they can do it. This is literally what's gonna help you make the sale or not. If they can, because they want to see that they can do it. If you can convince them, show them, make them realize and believe that they can get there, and you're the person that's going to help them get there, it's a done deal. And to achieve that, again, full circle, we must have a laser focused clarity as to what pain point you're solving, addressing, and what is the dream outcome that they're going to get through your program, through your mentoring, and how long is going to get them to get there. And also, highly recommend that you give them a taste of a win, even if it's a small win, as soon as possible, because that builds up their belief in themselves. That gives them that momentum, that motivation. Just like, for example, you go to the gym, when I first started my push-ups 3 years ago, as soon as I started seeing the first signs here in my here, that was the motivation I needed, and I kept at it. When I started doing my squat the other day, when I started touching my thighs, I started feeling the muscle. That's a motivation. So again, give them a taste of a small win as soon as possible to reinforce the belief not only in your program, but most importantly in themselves. That hey, this actually not only that hey, this works, but most importantly, this works for me. That's the ultimate. I see you in deep thoughts, Andrea.
I was thinking, how do you do that exactly? Like in your podcast, do you do a short exercise or or
Oh.
another bonus call or something?
No, you just share your story. Remember what I said? The best business to start is the one where you share how you overcame whatever challenge that you had to go through. Remember what I said on day 2? Your crap is your gold. Your message is your message. Some of the
Oh,
most
okay.
impactful and
So,
profitable business you can start is you simply helping others overcome what you had to go through.
I mean the small win that you were talking about for them. How do
Small win is whatever that's gonna give them, get them one step closer to the ultimate outcome that they want to reach. Let's say your goal is to get that first paying client. Hey, show them how to get that first lead.
Okay.
Let's say you want to help them getting fit, losing 1 dress size. I don't know what is even before that. Show them that by eating properly and doing exercise. I wish Mark Overton was here. He's the fitness guy. What can they do once they eat better, sleep better, and they have more energy, they're more focused, have more clarity. Whatever in your business is going to be that first taste of a win, give it to them. The sooner the better. For example, for me, on my academy, the first thing I show you is, hey, it doesn't take a lot of time to launch a podcast. We can launch it in three steps. And I give you my blueprint to get how to get people to get 99% of people to say yes to come onto your podcast. That's a big mental block that people have. Oh, I don't know how to get the right people, and who's going to come on my little podcast when I'm just starting out. This is what people show them. Hey, with the right approach, by inviting, people will say yes. Get them to book their first 5 or 10 episodes. Hey, that works for me. Let's get going. So
I already have 2 guests.
beautiful. So what I'm sharing here with you guys, giving them a taste of a small win, make them believe that they can do it. Do you guys see how powerful that is, guys? So let's look at you. The last time that you invest in a program, how important was it for you to understand that you can do it? How important and how decisive was it for you to pull the trigger and invest in a program? Let me check the chat. Exactly. Yes. That's the deal maker, deal breaker. Again, 2 key things. 1, educate them. And 2, make them believe, realize, understand, and see that they can do it. You achieve that, game over. The sale is done. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look now at what we're here for. Having an irresistible Godfather offer. And the words of the eternal Godfather, an irresistible Godfather offer is an offer that you can't refuse. As Alex Hormozy would say, an offer that people offer so good that people would feel stupid saying no to. Speaking of that, highly recommend you guys get this book. Alex Hormozy's 100 million offers. I travel a lot. I carry only 5 books with me. My books. This is one of my clients and best friend. He sent it to me. And this book. Yes, it's a big book, but it's the best book. It's almost considered as the Bible in marketing. He's the smartest guy out there, and everything he says is pure gold. So get this book. I recommend it. So anyways, we're gonna look now at a Godfather Irresistible Offer. So here's the
What
key. Sorry?
Sorry, what book? Oh,
$100 million Offers by Alex Hormozy.
okay.
I'll send the pic. I'll post a picture on the Facebook group later today. All right. So let's take a look now at the keys, the structure, the key elements of a Godfather offer. Again, I mentioned that before. Clarity is the name of the game. Clarity as to what is the number one pain point you're solving and addressing to your podcast, offer, business, YouTube channel, everything you do. Very specific avatar. For who is it? As I said yesterday, ultimately, you are your avatar. Build your business the way you wished it existed when you were just starting a few steps ago. Last but definitely not least, the time frame. How long is it going to take for the person to get the desired outcome? And again, these are absolutely non-negotiable factors in creating your irresistible Godfather offer. Does that make sense? Nosebleed, Andrea? I hope not. Amish, nosebleed? No. Okay, awesome. Again, gonna briefly fly through those because I've gone over those many times. Again, one very specific pain point for one very specific person. That's it. The more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be. The more your audience will relate with you, identify with you, and ultimately result in conversions and sales and money. Again, same thing, very specific, clear avatar. Ideally, your avatar is someone that looks like you, resembles you, that can resonate with you, and ultimately, you're your avatar. As I mentioned on day 2, and I will mention every day, build your offer, your business, everything you do the way you wished existed just a few steps ago. You're your avatar. Just look in the mirror, just like Angie, for example. You want to help other young people, whatever, to get that first job as a virtual assistant. Put yourself in that position. When you were looking for that first job, what were you struggling? What were you looking for? And because you've been there, you know exactly what you had to go through. Simply build it around that. It's not rocket science. You don't have to spend 10 years trying to learn a new skill or get a new degree. No. It's simply look at your life. Look at how you solved or overcame whatever you had to go through. As simple as that. So again, and the last piece of the puzzle, as I mentioned, is having a quantifiable, measurable end result. That means, again, call out the audience for who is it, what are they going to get, doing what, and how long. Very simple. Very simple. As I mentioned yesterday, this is just a summary of yesterday. When you have clarity, your message will be magnetic, your offer will be compelling, your program will be transformational. And as a consequence of that, your business will be wildly profitable and very, very, very a no-brainer for the other person. So again, here are some examples of quantifiable, measurable end results. These are real life examples of my past students and alumni. The first 2 are mine. When I first started my academy, my offer was very simple. Hey, I will help you launch your profitable podcast in 3 weeks. Then it evolved to monetizing your podcast 30 days after launch. And then here's another beautiful example. Instead of saying, let me help you become a 6-figure coach or make $10,000. Show me how to get that first paying client in 30 days, leveraging only the power of LinkedIn or Facebook. Make it specific. What is it? Doing what? How long? Or lose 10 pounds instead of saying, oh, let me help you get fit or get the six pack. Someone who's out of shape and is busy, that's impossible. Instead, tell them, hey, let me help you lose 10 pounds in the next 30 days with only one exercise, 10 minutes a day. That was me. Push-ups. Push-ups changed my life. It doesn't take an hour to do push-up. I don't even need to go to the gym. Just on the floor in my place, wherever I am, even outside. Push-ups, squats, whatever. Make it simple. Here's the last one is a business I was involved in back in 2020. Who's living?
Of my body. Oops.
Somebody's leaving? Oh, let me see. Oh, Amish. Oh, okay. Take care, Amish. Yeah, plank, same thing. Here's a business that I was involved in. I mentioned my background was e-commerce in China, building and selling products on Amazon. When I came back, one of my friends is a seven-figure seller on Amazon. I saw a post on Instagram saying, hey, I need help with relaunching my course. I looked at his program. I said, listen, there's 1 billion people selling Amazon courses. Let's make it different. Let's make it stand out. Instead, make it clear that even a newbie can do it. Let's help them to find, source, select, and launch the first product on Amazon in as little as 90 days. Even when the world was completely shut down at the start of the pandemic, we're able to help 4 groups of complete newbies launch the first product on Amazon. So that's a real example. So here's a formula. There's 2 approaches to it. The first one is you focus on the outcome. I help blank client solve problem with proven solution and time period guaranteed. The next one, you emphasize on the pain point, on the fear. I help client dream outcome without So use these 2. For example, I help authors, coaches, speakers get their first and next paying client to their own profitable podcast or YouTube channel, even if you have no audience to start with, in as little as 60 days. That's on the outcome. If I want to do it on the pain, the fear, I help authors, coaches, and speakers get the first paying client in as little as 60 days to their own profitable podcast, even if I have no audience, without being a celebrity, without being spending a lot of time and money, and without being a techie. So use these. Go ahead, Michael.
No, finish your sentence.
Oh, I needed a sip. So okay. So yeah, I'm actually done. Well,
Okay.
done my sentence, but still a couple more slides before we give the floor to you.
Okay, it's about I think I mentioned it last time as well. In the beginning, when you're just starting out and basically no one knows you yet in the marketplace, go for the second option.
Mhm.
Oh no, excuse me, sorry. Go for the first option where you actually mention the problem that you solve. Because when you go somewhere and people don't know you yet and you make a big promise that contains an outcome, people don't trust you yet because they don't know you. However, if you start talking about the problem, then they're like, oh yeah, I have that problem. Okay, let me check this out. So if possible, start with the first option on the list. And then as you gain more experience and you gain more credibility, then you can eventually switch to the second one, which contains the dream outcome.
Yes. Perfectly said. Thank you. Does that make sense, guys? Princess, all good? Angie? Andrea? Michael? Wait, that's you. I don't need to ask you. Anyways, here's some more real life examples of past students of mine of the Godfather Offer. I help female executives over 40 years old experience greater health, reverse diabetes without drugs and expensive medical bills. That's a real life offer. Next one, I help male entrepreneurs in the 40s and 50s get the first paying client within 30 days using the power of Facebook groups. Next one, I help busy moms in the 30s lose one dress size in 30 days without going to the gym with only 5-minute exercise per day. How compelling is that one? See? What are you saying, Princess? I see your lips moving.
Sorry, that one is very specific. Just
Yes.
boom. I know exactly what I'm going to get and when.
And you would throw money at that offer like before you, like
If
Speedy
I am that,
Gonzalez.
yeah, if I'm that person,
Yes.
then yeah, I would go for that person.
Even more so if you have a wedding coming or an event coming,
True.
big time. Here's another good one. I help single dads find, select, source, and launch the first product on Amazon within 9 days. That was actually one of my offers.
Mm.
Here's another one. I help introverted entrepreneurs gain unshakable confidence and land a TED Talk without any presentation experience in as little as 30 days. How compelling is that? That's a $10,000 offer. Actually, one of my clients, it was on my first book,
Wow.
my first two books, he actually charges $10,000 to $20,000 not to get a TED Talk, but to prepare you, to coach you how to become a more effective public speaker. He charges $10,000 to $20,000 just on that alone. So again, use these. I'm not saying copy, but use these as inspiration. Go back to everything we've talked about. One pain point for one person. The more specific, the better. Have your quantifiable, measurable end result, and use this framework here. And Michael is gonna expand much deeper into that in a moment. So again, here are some examples of my offers over the course of the past 2 years. My previous offer was I help authors, coaches, speakers with a tiny or no audience at all launch a profitable podcast YouTube channel to get leads on demand and clients organically in as little as 60 days. What do you think of this one? Let's be honest. Is it compelling? Is it good?
Okay, you say who it is for?
Yeah, the first one, the previous,
Yeah.
the top one.
Oh, tiny.
And then we're going to talk about the current one after.
Yeah, very specific again,
Yeah.
very to the point.
Yes.
If
And then
you're
look
in
at,
that position in your business, then you would want that person.
yes.
The promise is there.
Yeah. And then my current offer is this. I help authors, coaches, and speakers get the first or next client to their very own profitable podcast and or YouTube channel, even if they have no audience to start with, in as little as 60 days. That's more compelling because it's one thing to launch a podcast, but what people really want is this:
Profitable.
money. So again, use
But
these to inspire you. Say, what were you saying, Princess?
sorry, it's just, I mean, it sounds good, it looks good, very specific. The promise is there, it's measurable, quantifiable, and all that. But what do you put into it to get that result?
As I said, to get that, I help them identify what is the zone of genius, build their business, build their offer, everything they do around the zone of genius, craft the messaging, craft the offer. We basically build the business, not just launch a podcast. We help them identify what are the true gifts. So all they have to do is just speak from the heart, sharing the story of how they overcame whatever they had to go through. Just like what I've had to overcome to go through.
So, okay.
Go ahead.
How would you price these offers though?
The pricing is something I cover,
In your academy, right?
yes, deeply into Academy, the proper way to price it. But what I can tell you is it's a given, never make your business transactional. Don't sell your time. There's always a ceiling how much you can charge. Don't sell your knowledge because knowledge can be obtained for free, especially now with ChatGPT, Google, and YouTube. Make it transformational. The bigger the transformation, the bigger the problem that you solve, the pain point you solve, the more people will pay and gladly. So look at
I mean, you have to do some sort of mindset work too,
yes,
because some people don't believe in themselves at all, even
yes,
though they look confident, they are not. So a part of the transformation,
mm,
it's the person that you are to become to be able to get those results, isn't not? Is it not?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and also a little trick within that is that most of your podcast content or YouTube content, Instagram content will focus on shifting the beliefs and the mindset of your dream customer. So people come, they watch your podcast, they watch your content, and because your content focus on switching their beliefs, then at the end of your podcast or a few episodes in, they become closer to being your ideal customer.
Okay.
And you inspire them with stories of how other people have overcame the problem that they're currently having themselves. Because they want to see that, hey, I'm not the only one having this problem. Other people have had it, and here's how these people have overcome it. And if they can do it, slowly they will start to believe, hey, maybe I can do it too.
Hope, one of the greatest emotions in the world. When you
Yes,
can give people hope, they basically will do anything that you ask them.
but you have to be ethical. Don't sell them hopium, as they say, and really, sincerely, candidly help them.
I think honestly, anybody I've worked at, when I am loving that person I am dealing with, and I'm really giving it to them, I think everything else just fall into place. Like, um, one of those puzzles that you have to fit, what do you call them? Jigsaw
Mhm.
puzzles. It's almost like when you focus on the real thing, it helping, truly helping
Yes,
with all of your heart and loving that person you're helping, I think everything else kind of fall into place.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And
And so,
regarding,
yeah, this is
sorry,
how we can become detached from the whole I'm selling knowledge and I'm selling time kind of
no,
thing.
no, never, no, because it's always a ceiling. You don't want your business to be transactional. People don't pay for information. They're flooded with information nowadays. People will pay for two things: transformation and speed. Help me solve my problem faster than I can do it, and I will throw any amount of money at you.
What would you say would be a good time frame for a $8,000
Really difficult to answer. Depends on
transformation?
what is the pain point you're solving. Uh,
I'm helping Christian women transition
okay.
because they want to, but as I said before, transition is hard. When your identity is where you are, you've always had a career, you're always doing that, but it's killing you. That's not what you want to do anymore, but because it pays the bills
Yeah.
and you probably don't want to sacrifice your lifestyle or whatever,
Yes.
you you're afraid of
Mhm.
stepping out.
We're gonna dive into that in a moment, especially when Michael is gonna do his $1 million framework to look into that. We're gonna really break it down. But what I can tell you is that what I was about to say, give them. Wait, I lost the train of my thoughts. Um, damn. Damn, I lost the train of my thoughts. For someone that wants to transition from the corporate world and from the corporate cage, as you say, to more fulfillment.
I don't want to call it fulfillment because what I want them
Yeah.
to do is really step into their purpose and begin to build a prosperous and life legacy.
Yes.
Leaving, because to be honest with you, if you're on the earth and you're not leaving something for the next generation,
Mhm.
you're really not doing purpose properly.
Yes, I completely agree. Completely agree. Um,
So it's
man,
a like a lasting legacy.
yes, yes, yes,
But I want it to be quantifiable. I want it to be measurable. I want it to be tangible so
yes.
that we can say, yeah, that is exactly what I want. So
Mm.
it might, oh,
It's
oh, I
some
was just reading what
Michael, yeah.
was writing.
I can't see the chat. Why I can see the chat? Okay.
Yeah, Lorenzo, what I put in there is about the information, about knowledge.
Mm.
You people do buy information and knowledge,
Yeah.
but only if it's framed as a new thing, as new,
Yes.
and not an improvement.
It's
Mm.
true.
So if you let's say you help people lose weight using dieting, whatever, you should not frame it as a dieting offer, but instead you should give it a new name and you should frame it uniquely. Then people will buy it because it's new.
So it's all about the wording then.
Hmm.
So so you're selling them what they want, but you're gonna give them what they need.
That is something else that comes
Okay.
later on. But you can, if you want to really stand out from everybody else in your market, so your competition, you have to frame the things that you do, your information, you have to frame it as new. Now you can take something that is already existing. Maybe you teach something that other people teach, but you can say it differently. You can say it in a new way.
Let me give you an example. For example, when it comes to podcasting and YouTube. Perfect. I love this. For example, the traditional way to monetize a YouTube and a podcast is this is what 99% of people are doing: build a massive audience and then make your money through sponsorships, downloads, ads, viewers, and all that. Everybody's chasing the vanity metrics, you know, and YouTube pays you what, $2 to $3 for each 1,000 views. So you need to have like hundreds of thousands of views to make even $1,000. And that works for three types of people. If you already are a celebrity, if you have a massive existing audience, or if you are a world-class expert with a few pages after your name. I have none of that yet, and not many people that I work with have that. For someone that doesn't have those, that's not a celebrity, doesn't have an existing big audience or not a world-class expert, it's going to realistically take them 3 to 5 years to build that. I'll give you a real-life example. In March, I was invited to do a talk at a big conference here in Vietnam for digital nomads on podcasting. Just before my talk, there was a guy. He talked about how to make money on YouTube. He had started a YouTube channel in 2019. He's from the US. Now he lives in Thailand. He does a traditional YouTubing, which is videos about his travel, documenting his journey, his life, living in Thailand, all that. And he proudly shared his earnings for the month of January. It took him 6 years to build it. He earned a grand total of $964, not even $1,000. It took him 6 years. If I were to rely on the money I would make from YouTube or Google on my YouTube channel, I wouldn't even be able to afford a cup of coffee a month. That's why I don't even do that, because my channel is very small. I'm lucky if I get 50 views. So that's a traditional way, the outdated, what most people are doing, YouTube and podcasts. Now, the new way, the way that I stumbled across and that completely changed my life, that is the way to leverage YouTube and podcast, not chasing vanity metrics, but going for connections, having heart-to-heart conversations with my audience. That's why I was able to get 6 clients in my first weekend, and then 60 clients in the next 10 months with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. Now my channel is a bit bigger, just under 1,500, and I've passed way over 100 high-ticket clients. But again, I don't play the vanity metrics. What I do is I leverage my YouTube and my podcast to get the foot on the door, to have heart-to-heart conversation with my exact ideal audience, to build that trust, that rapport, and then help them. As I said earlier, first build the trust and then educate them, because these are people that don't have they may or may not have a YouTube and podcast, and if they do, they're doing it the wrong way. So I help them, educate them as to what is the proper way to properly leverage YouTube and podcast. Remember what I said? educate them what is the problem, why the problem is in the first place. So for me, I help them understand that, hey, first of all, they're not doing podcast YouTube the right way. Second of all, they don't have clarity in their offer, and no clarity, they can relate with the audience can relate with them. If they can relate with them, no leads, no clients, no money, no business. So I help them really understand that. So this is the new way, the effective, compelling, impactful, and profitable way to leverage YouTube and podcasts. So this is what Michael was referring to, the old and the new. Just like Russell Brunson, he compared the traditional website, which is very confusing with so many, distractions, call to action, links, and all that, versus the funnel. A funnel is no distraction, just one action, one button, one call to action, and that's it. And that's how he's been able to build ClickFunnels from the ground up to a multi-billion-dollar company. So again, you have to compare the old versus the new. This is what Michael was referring to. Go ahead, Michael.
And something extra, Lorenzo, you just said the word proper, the proper way of doing things. Even the word proper, you should not use, because proper hints to that you found a better way. Then you frame it as an improvement. Instead, you should say new, a new way of doing podcasting, not a proper way. Because then when something is framed as something better, then in order for someone else to take you upon that new solution you created, that solution, that improvement, they have to now admit that it's their fault that whatever they tried before didn't work. However, if you frame it as something new and you take away the blame, so then you say, hey, the reason why you have failed to lose weight using dieting, it isn't your fault because of blah, 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 insert reason.
And if I may add to that, I love what you said about the word proper. If used in that sentence, proper could even mean as an insult for someone. Who the hell do you think? You think I'm doing it wrong? Who the hell do you think you are?
Exactly, and that's what I mean by taking away. You have to take away the blame.
You made me realize something here, so I'm going to stop using the word proper. Yes, you're right.
Those are, we have a very funny name to it. Those are names that you use if you want to stay broke. Then you use those words.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on. So again, offer creations is very, very, very powerful because ultimately offer creation is nothing more than wealth creation. When you create an offer that is compelling, that is irresistible, guess what? You not only you're creating impact for others, but most importantly, you're creating wealth for yourself and your family. So it's very important for you to really understand and master the art of offer creation. That's why I said in the beginning earlier, get the book, $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. That's a Bible when it comes to offer creation. Because again, offer creation is nothing more than wealth creation. As simple as that. So again, we've done that. This is your action step for today. Take a look at the slides, at everything we've covered so far, and create your irresistible offer, keeping in mind the quantifiable, measurable end result. You have to call out who is it for, what are they going to achieve, doing what, and how long is it going to take them to get that dream outcome. This is very important. And does anyone wants to take a go at it and share with us live on the fly their offer using this framework? And then we're going to dive deeper into that in the second part of this call. Princess, you want to take a crack at it?
It's pretty much everything I had said before, but in 40 days.
Oh, here's another tip. And it's a legal aspect. Do not say in, because that exposes you to
In as
liability.
little of.
Yes.
In as little as.
Yes, exactly.
Don't even say within, because within binds to a contract. Instead, in as little as.
That means it can take longer based on the work that they do and what they put in, because some people take longer. I was thinking about creating the offer itself and what to put in there, because some people it's a high ticket offer,
Yes.
and what I wanna ensure that they get the results that they get. So it could be that I give them a free ticket to the next
Sure.
to the next one, to what's in yeah, to the next event, or work with them until they get the desired result.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that one better?
You're going to create one. Where I'm in the second half of this presentation. I'm going to show you how to create one.
Yes,
Okay.
do that. So yeah. So do this and then share it with us in the Facebook group. And let's move on. So that's it for today. And I also invite you, book a call with me for this week or next week to further brainstorm. I'm going to share the link with you directly on Messenger, on WhatsApp, and also the
Okay.
Facebook group. Book a call with me this week or next week, and let's brainstorm. Let's see how we can implement all of these into your business.
Okay.
All right. So sneak peek into tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be literally creating your podcast and YouTube channel live. We're going to be building the foundations of your podcast, of YouTube. We're going to talk about formatting your podcast and naming it the right way, creating a YouTube channel, creating your podcast cover art, thumbnails, and so on and so forth, and also talking about recording and editing your shows. So it's going to be very hands-on tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be tech. As I said, I'm sharing with you my 3 steps approach to launching a profitable podcast YouTube channel. Step 1 is a foundation, which we've done so far, day 1, 2, and 3. Step 2 is a tech, which is going to be tomorrow. And step 3 is going to be the launch on Friday, which is now how do we make money? So it's a 3-step blueprint. It's a very high-level overview of that, and I'm sharing that with you. So tomorrow is going to be all about tech. So any questions about what I covered so far before we move on to the second half? Okay, so let me stop the screen sharing. Also stop the recording. Wait 1 second, Michael. Let me
No,
stop.
that's fine.